Hi everyone, this is Jason from Realm Space Gaming, and today we're going to be looking at the best guns to use in Arcadegeddon. Before we begin, it's worth noting that guns in Arcadegeddon can be quite varied. Each has their own pros and cons, and ultimately it'll be up to you to decide which weapons best suit your playstyle. Also worth noting that different guns have different purposes, so we'll be covering two categories today: single target and area of effect or AoE. Let's go over the single target weapons first. Ranking in at number 3, we have a tie between the tracker pistol and the hunter rifle. These weapons both feature the ability to lock onto a target and guide your bullets toward them in an arc. While these weapons don't do the most damage in the category, this ability will allow you to focus less on your aim and ensure more hits hit the target regardless, saving you precious ammo for less missed shots. The strategic advantage alone can be a massive boon in boss fights, allowing you to shoot from safely behind cover. Ranking in at number 2, we have the Eraser sniper rifle. Honestly, this gun is just such a pleasure to use. With pinpoint accuracy, very little recoil, a large magazine, and a massive amount of damage, you can just scope up and keep the shots coming. Using this weapon honestly feels a little unfair, as most enemies won't survive even a body shot until higher levels. It, however, is still a sniper rifle, which means you'll have to be careful not to use up all of your ammo too quickly. We recommend keeping one slotted for a full run if you can, as even bosses will find themselves quickly shot down in your sights. Ranking in at number 1, king of the single target weapons goes to none other than the Outlaw. The Outlaw is a heavy pistol whose common variant alone deals a whopping 160 damage. This pistol is arguably even more powerful than the Eraser sniper rifle, as it too features pinpoint accuracy and little recoil. It's a hand cannon that will simply delete whatever you point it at, usually in one click. The fact that it's a pistol also means that you're unlikely to run out of ammo quickly, and you can just keep the shots coming. The main disadvantage of the Outlaw is that it has a slow fire rate and a slower reload time, so you'll want to make sure you land those hits to avoid being overwhelmed by groups of enemies. Speaking of groups of enemies, that brings us to our area of effect or AoE weapons. This is a category featuring rocket and grenade launchers, flamethrowers, and more wacky weapons such as disc launchers. When choosing our top 3, we tried to consider what would be most useful for an AoE weapon. Ranking in at number 3 then, we have the Cold Shoulder rocket launcher. For the Mr. Freeze fans out there, the Cold Shoulder launches a relatively low damage explosive that will temporarily freeze all the enemies in the area it hits. If you find yourself being overwhelmed by a group of enemies, this can be a real lifesaver, freezing them entirely in ice and buying you the time you need to get to cover and reload, or weakening the group and making them easy targets for your friends and other weapons. It makes up for its tiny mag size with a faster fire rate for a rocket launcher. Ranking in at number 2, we have the Thermal Devastator rocket launcher. Featuring slightly higher base damage than the Cold Shoulder, this rocket launcher is a hybrid of utility and damage, firing rockets which ignite all enemies hit by them. This fire damage is a great utility, as the damage over time adds up enough to kill most enemies, and the explosions themselves have a decently sized AoE. The Thermal Devastator shines best when fired into small groups right as you enter the area or as they approach, picking off the burning survivors with your other weapons afterwards. Finally, ranking in at number 1, king of the AoE weapons in our lineup, we have the Shocker grenade launcher. The Shocker fires large AoE shock grenades that deal a lot of damage to any enemies in the blast radius. With a well-sized magazine and a good fire rate, you can lay down fire over a large area with this gun and keep the pain coming. This weapon wouldn't be king of this merit alone, however, and part of the brilliance of this gun lies in its secret ability. True to its name, the Shocker will electrify enemies caught in the blast, stunning them temporarily and also chaining damage to nearby friends. Because AoE weapons are usually used against groups, you'll find that this weapon gets stronger the more enemies fall in its range. That concludes our list on the top guns in Arcadegeddon. Hopefully you're now better equipped for your next run through the arcade. As usual, our goal is to give you the best guides that are quick, and let you jump straight back into the game. So if you like that, then hit the like button and subscribe for more Arcadegeddon. My name is Jason, and here's a big thank you from everyone at Realm Space Gaming for watching, and don't forget to enjoy the rest of your day.